Consider supporting this channel for as little as $5 a month on Patreon. You can also commission future content for this game. Link is in the description. You can also send a one-time donation of any amount to this channel using PayPal. Link is in the description. Since I have already made a lot of lighthouses for this game, and we also have the Statue of Liberty here, I thought it would be fun to do a bit of a size comparison and see if any of the lighthouses I've made so far are taller than the Statue of Liberty. For context, the Statue of Liberty is the tallest statue in the United States and one of the tallest in the world. But one of the lighthouses that I made is the tallest in the United States. So let's see which one is taller. I'll also compare the lighthouses to another skyscraper further into the video. First, we have the Boldhead Lighthouse, an 8-sided white stucco lighthouse located on the southern tip of Boldhead Island near Oak Island in North Carolina. And as you can see, this lighthouse is only slightly taller than the pedestal that the Statue of Liberty sits on. Next, let's compare it to the Bodie Island Lighthouse located on the southern tip of Bodie Island near Nags Head in North Carolina. This one's a bit taller, actually a lot taller. It's almost as tall as the statue itself. It looks like the tip of the lightning rod is almost as high up as the torch. Next, we have the Boston Lighthouse in Massachusetts, which is one of the oldest lighthouses in America. It looks like this lighthouse only makes it up to the feet to the statue, making it only slightly taller than the pedestal. The lens of the Boston Lighthouse rotates counterclockwise. This is rare for an American lighthouse. The Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is the tallest lighthouse in America, and it looks like it is actually way taller than the Statue of Liberty. The Cape Lookout Lighthouse flashes once every 15 seconds, 24 hours a day. It looks like the light makes it up to the tip of the tablet that reads July 4th, 1776. Now for the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, an unpainted brick lighthouse located in Corolla, North Carolina. It looks like it's about as tall as the torch. Maybe even a little bit taller. Now for the Deer Island Lighthouse, one of the most recently built lighthouses in this country, built in around 2016, I believe. It looks like it's about half as tall as the pedestal. In fact, it could probably fit in the pedestal. And now for the Graves Ledge Lighthouse. Interesting fact, the owner of this lighthouse is suing the town of Hull, Massachusetts because he believes that they are illegally taxing his property. He claims the lighthouse is not located in that town and therefore can't be taxed by that town, but the town claims to have old documents stating that the lighthouse is located in the town. The lighthouse looks to be about half as tall as the statue. And now for another lighthouse located in New York City, the Jeffries Hook Lighthouse, also known as the Little Red Lighthouse. It is located under the George Washington Bridge, which carries I-80 into New York City. It looks like it's only about as high up as the entrance to the pedestal. And now for the Long Island Head Lighthouse, not to be confused with Long Island, New York. It is located in Boston, Massachusetts. And it looks like it's only slightly higher than the entrance to the pedestal. And now for the Oak Island Lighthouse, the last lighthouse built in North Carolina, and one of the most powerful lights in the country. It flashes 4 times every 10 seconds, 24 hours a day. The light is so powerful that people servicing it need to wear firefighting suits to avoid getting burned by it. It looks like it's only about half as tall as the statue and pedestal. This lighthouse is equipped with a rare DCV 436 arrow beacon, which is actually just a modified oil reflector, where the original source, the oil, was simply replaced by electricity and electric light bulbs. It has 8 reflectors, but only 4 of them are in use. The other 4 are used as backups. This is the Ocracoke Lighthouse in North Carolina. This is a small white lighthouse that's located near Silver Lake on Ocracoke Island in North Carolina. It looks like the Ocracoke Lighthouse is about half as small as the pedestal, which doesn't really surprise me because it's the smallest lighthouse in North Carolina. But now we have the St. Augustine Lighthouse located on Anastasia Island in Florida. The St. Augustine Lighthouse appears to be slightly taller than the Statue of Liberty. It looks like the only 2 lighthouses I've made so far that are taller than the Statue of Liberty are the St. Augustine Lighthouse and the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. Now let's compare the height of the Statue of Liberty to a skyscraper whose name I cannot say on YouTube or else I'll get demonetized. We'll call it Big Square Tower for now. This thing is so big that the game can barely zoom out high enough to see the roof of it. Also, the guy who made this actually faced it the wrong way. The one with the antenna spire is supposed to face north. It's actually off by 180 degrees. Now let's compare the height of this big square tower to some of the lighthouses that I have made so far. First up, we have the Boldhead Lighthouse again. Even the base of this skyscraper is bigger than the lighthouse. It's so tall that if you were on the roof, you probably wouldn't even be able to see the lighthouse. This skyscraper is so big that I cannot delete the lighthouse because the game keeps thinking that I'm trying to delete the skyscraper because it's bigger. So I have to use the undo feature to undo it. Anyway, here is what it looks like compared to the Bodie Island Lighthouse. And now we're going to compare it to the Boston Lighthouse. Wow, you can barely even see it from the roof. What about the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse? It looks like it's way taller than even the tallest lighthouse in America. Doesn't even go halfway up. Not even a quarter way up, actually. You can see the shadow from the roof, but not the actual lighthouse itself. That's how tall it is. What about the Cape Lookout Lighthouse? Yeah, I don't think there's a single lighthouse on this planet that is taller than this skyscraper. Now let's compare it to the Currituck Beach Lighthouse. Again, you can barely see it from the roof because of how tall the skyscraper is. Deer Island? Wow, this one's only about as high as maybe the third or fourth floor. And you can't even see it from the roof. It looks like the height of a lighthouse and the height of a skyscraper just can't be compared. Now for the Jeffries Hook Lighthouse. It looks like it's only about as tall as the first floor. Maybe even as high as the second floor. Can't even see it from the roof of this skyscraper. The Long Island Head Lighthouse also loses to the height of the skyscraper. What about Oak Island? Not even close. It doesn't even make it a third of the way up. Not even a quarter of the way up, actually. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that the Ocracoke Lighthouse is going to lose to this skyscraper in height. Well, the last one we have is St. Augustine. Well, you can see the lantern from up there, but not the rest of the lighthouse because it's too small. Now, let's see if the Statue of Liberty can fit inside the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. Not quite. Its pedestal is a bit too wide, and the torch sticks out a little bit. So it would not fit inside the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. Now let's see how many of the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse could fit inside this big square tower whose name I cannot say or I'll be demonetized. It looks like one could comfortably fit inside its lobby. Now let's see what happens if we add another one. It looks like two of the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse could comfortably fit inside the skyscraper. But not the third one. Or could we? Oh, it looks like four of the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse could comfortably fit inside this skyscraper. Then again, in real life, the elevator shafts and stairways would probably get in the way, so you probably would not be able to fit four of these inside the real structure.